Marhaban, ahlan wa sahlan bikum. In this lesson, we're going to be working on page 18. We have learned the system of conjugation, how to conjugate simple past tense verbs. We've already also learned the case endings for subject and object, the nominative case endings as well as accusatives case ending. Now today we're going to analyze some sentences to see those case endings in action. Let's go for it. Right. Okay, the first sentence we have here is Shakara Zairun Mualliman. Shakara is a verb. Zairun, that's the subject. Zairun means a visitor. Mualliman means a teacher. So, Shakara Zairun, this is your subject. This is the doer. Zairun, a visitor. Shakara, thanked. Mualliman, a teacher. This is a singular, hence is carrying two dhamma to tell us that this is the doer of the verb. Mualliman, that's a singular and is carrying two fatha to indicate that this is the object of the verb. Remember, subject is the doer and object is the receiver of the action. Shakara Zairun Mualliman. And that is a visitor, which is male, masculine, thanked a teacher. Now, if you look at the feminine equivalent, is this one. Shakarat Zairatun Muallimatan. Shakarat, now conjugation, we know we convert he did something to she did by adding simply ta maftuha with sukun. Shakarat Zairatun. This ta marbuta is indicating the doer this time is a female. Zairatun. But the case ending still the same to indicate this is the subject of the verb. So Shakarat Zairatun. Here is Shakara Zairun Muallimatan. A female teacher. Here is Mualliman. What is important to note is that the case ending, regardless whether the nouns carrying the case endings masculine or feminine, the case ending must be the same. So here we have two fatha to say this is the object. Here also we have two fatha to say this is the object. Let's now look at the second line. Shakara Zairani Mualliman. Two visitors, masculine, thanked a teacher. Remember the case ending, nominative case ending, if the subject is doer, there are two of them responsible for the action, the ending will be any. You put the fatha on the last letter of the subject, extend it using alif mad or lengthening alif, then add noon with kesra to give us the ani ending. In this case, zairani. So, ani ending, and that is a nominative case ending. So these two, they are the subject of the verb. Shakara zairani mualliman. For now, we retained our object as a singular. Later on, we're going to reverse that, and you will see what will happen when we have object, two of them as well. So, equivalent to the feminine section is Shakarat Zairatani. Again, it's ending in any ending. This is your ta, and we put fatha. We open the ta marbuta up to become ta maftuha, open ta, instead of ta marbuta, which is the tied up ta. Now, and then we put fatha, ani, this same ending, Zairatani Muallimatan. Two visitors, feminine, thanked a teacher. The third line, Shakara Zairuna Mualliman. Some visitors, meaning three or more, thanked a teacher. You may remember the nominative case ending when we are dealing with a regular masculine plural is una ending, to put dhamma on the last root letter of the subject, which is in this case is ra. We put dhamma on it, we extend using the waw, and then we put na, zairuna. That's for masculine. For feminine, also, if you check your note, the previous lesson, you see that we need to put at the end. So shakarat zairatun muallimatan. Visitors, feminine, thanked a teacher. Now, let me remind you, you can see the order now in Arabic sentence is verb, fa'ilun, then fa'ilun, the subject, and maf'ulun, that's the object. And because we start with our verb, we retain the verb as previously explained in a singular format with paying due regard to the gender. So we have shakara, shakara, shakara. Even though we have singular subject, we have dual, the subject, and we have plural. In spite of that, we retain it in the singular format, mufrad. In the feminine, it's the same, except that we convert into feminine format, shakarat, shakarat, and shakarat. Now, let's move to the definite nouns. We have just completed the indefinite. If you remember, we said shakara, zairun, mualliman. That's indefinite nouns. And in the dual, we say shakara, zairani, mualliman. In the plural, shakara, zairuna, mualliman. Feminine, say shakarat, zairatun, muallimatan. Dual, shakarat, zairatani, muallimatan. And plural, shakarat, zairatun, muallimatan. Now we're going to define the nouns now. Shakara zairul muallim. So zairun has been defined using al, which is the article the. And al-muallima also has been defined using the article the as well. Now the way you read it is you suppress the lam because of the shadda. Remember we learned that some times ago, that we cannot have two sukoons side by side. So hence we say shakarazza, shakarazza irul muallima. Here we suppress the lam because it's followed by the shamsiya, which is your sun letter carrying shadda. Here is called moon letters, there's no carrying letter, the shadda, so we retain the sukun. Shakara zairul muallima. The visitor, that's male, thanked the teacher. And the feminine equivalent, shakarat zairatul muallimata. Now here we have sukun, there is embedded sukun here as well. So what we need to do is to more or less remove this sukun, replace it with kasra so that we can read ahead. So it's going to sound like this. Shakarat. You see, you have kasra here, you have that kasra as well. So that's just indicate you don't combine both. We do not combine the sukun and the kasra. I'm just telling you that in reading, you need to really not to pronounce this sukun. In fact, that sukun should be removed so that you don't get confused. So let's just cross that sukun out. I put it there originally to show you that the verb is feminine. Otherwise, I will just put this kasra. So we say shakaratiz zairatu. Shakaratiz zairatul muallimata. And that's the visitor, that's feminine, thanked the teacher. Now, the second line, shakara zairani, the ending of an is still the same thing. But in the first one, we reduce the previous two dhamma into single dhamma, because two dhamma giving us idea of a something, and the, we cannot say something is the and a at the same time. Hence, we reduce the number of dhamma from two to a single dhamma. But in the any ending, regardless whether the noun is defined or not defined, any will be any. There will be no change at all. Here also, una will be the same thing. Shakara zairuna. If you look at the feminine as well, shakarat zairatani, the any ending is still the same. And the atu, previously, if it's not defined, we say shakarat zairatun. But here, because of the definition, because we have already defined using the article the, we reduce the dhamma into a single dhamma, and we say shakarat zairatu al-muallimata. So that is the example of using the nouns in definite forms previously and definite form as well. But what is important here is the case ending. Note the case ending that the subject is carrying. When it's a singular, it's dhamma, and when it's a dual, it's any ending, and when it is plural for masculine, is una ending, and when it's a plural for feminine, is atun ending. That is what is very important. Now, let's move to the next section. We're still on page 18. The next now is to make the object within the sentence dual as well as plural, and see the case ending that it will be carrying. That means, let's look at the other area of accusative case ending. Right, the first one we have here, so we have sentences with a dual or plural indefinite object. This is indefinite one. Shakara zairun muallimaini. This time we are making the object dual. So, shakara zairun, we know that's singular and that's the subject. Now the object now muallimaini, a visitor thanked two teachers. So a visitor, masculine, thanked two teachers, masculine as well. Look at the case ending when we are dealing with the object in the dual. Is carrying any ending. If we have the subject, the dual, that will be zairani, will be any ending, but the object will carry any. We have fatha on the last letter of the original muallim, and then ya with sukun and the ni, muallimaini. And that's why I mentioned before one of the lessons to say the unique things about Arabic is you may move the subject and object from their original position, you will still be able to track them. You will still be able to identify who is doing what to whom. Unlike many other languages, whereby you have to keep that order in order to convey the message. So, for instance, in English, we have to say a visitor thanked two teachers. If you put two teachers first, the meaning will be totally different. But in Arabic, the case ending is helping us to track who did and who is the receiver, who is the subject and who is the object within the sentence. So shakara zairun muallimaini. We know muallimaini ending as two teachers, and also we know that they are male. If it is female, for instance, shakarat. Again, we have ta to identify that they were talking about female here. Shakarat zairatun. Also, the visitor, a visitor, is a female. Muallimataini thanked two female teachers. Now the third one, we have now the plural. Shakara zairun muallimina. A visitor thanked many teachers, that are three or more. The originally, if you have the plural for the subject, masculine, regular noun will be muallimuna, or in this case, zairuna. Una ending for the subject, but it's a ina ending for the object. So let's say we're going to show you later on, but let's just pretend that this is the plural as well, many teachers. So we convert that into una ending. We put the dhamma on the ra and then extend it using the waw and then nun, zairuna. That will be the subject plural, normal masculine plural. If we want to make the visitors to become the object, it will be ina zairina, and then we will say shakara muallimuna zairina. See, it is fascinating. For the feminine section, shakarat zairatun muallimatin. Now, to conclude our analysis of page 18, let's look at this set of 8 sentences. Now, here we have duo as a subject and also duo as the object. Let's look at the case ending of any. That's mean this is the subject, that's a nominative case. Whereas the any is accusative case, and that means this is the object of the verb. Shakara zairani muallimaini. 2 male visitors thanked 2 male teachers. The feminine equivalent, shakarat zairatani muallimataini. Again, this any ending is the same as any ending here. Shakarat zairatani muallimataini. Equally, we have aini and aini to indicate this is the object of the verb. Hence, we have the accusative case ending. Next one, shakara zairuna muallimina. Una ending for normal or regular masculine plural is una ending, whereas the ina ending is indicating this is the object. Hence we have the accusative ending, and this is for normal or regular masculine plural. For feminine, shakarat zairatun is atun ending as our nominative case to indicate this is the subject. Whereas in the object, we have atin instead. Later on, you will learn about genitive ending later. So, shakarat zairatun muallimatin. This section is the same as this section, except that here we have article the. So, shakara zairani, the 2 male teacher, the 2 male visitors thanked the 2 male teachers. So the ending ani and aini, ani and aini is the same. Shakara zairuna, shakara zairuna. Una ending here in the indefinite as well as the definite one is the same. Shakara zairuna al-muallimina, ina ending and ina ending as well. Now, the feminine is shakarat zairatani muallimataini. Here also, shakarat zairatani. Here, I put sukun originally here, and then we need to delete that because we have the shadda coming. So if we have shadda after this sukun, which is the ta maftuha in the conjugation, shakarat. So we need to delete that and replace it with the kasra. More explanation of that kind of things will come much later. So shakarat zairatani al-muallimataini. So the ani and aini endings, nominative and accusative, is the same. Shakarat zairatu. If we have atu here, we reduce the 2 dhamma into single dhamma because of the article the. Al-muallimati, here muallimatin, also we reduce this to kasra because here is indefinite, here is definite. We need to reduce into a singular kasra, muallimat. So my advice would be, please go to page 18 of our book and ensure that you digest the information in a very calm atmosphere, and in conjunction with the previous lesson, which is about the subject and object. You have the case ending which is nominative cases, and the accusative cases. Please go through that again and again and again and watch those videos again and again so that you can be comfortable with what is being taught, because it is very essential really that to understand is a building block. So if you miss out any element, it's going to be very complicated later on. But if you are doing it gradually and progressively, you will find them very easy later on. It's very logical build up to become expert in writing and speaking Arabic. Now, somebody asked me about the what's the trick to learn your vocabulary. I'm afraid you just need commitment, really. So every single day, maybe you learn 2 new words, 2 or 3. Make yourself a flashcard where you write Arabic on one side and English the other side, or any other language that you speak, so to help you out, so that you are in touch with your vocabulary on a daily basis. It's going to get easy. It's going to get easier for you. But if we don't do it regularly enough, so it's hard. We just need to train our brain to say, right, come on, today's word is this, or there are these 3 words. Write it down, see it everywhere, in your bedroom, in your kitchen, sitting room, put it in your pocket. You get there. It's a fun. Look at it as a challenge, as a something. It's good for the brain. When you learn a new language, it's very good for the brain. It's a mathematical exercise. So good luck with that, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and spread the word around for me. Well done. مع السلامة. إلى اللقاء في أمان الله.